Hi, I am Sabrina Gore, and I am playing the character of Callie Nova. Callie Nova is one of the lead female interrogators in the Army currently as the story takes place. Callie is pretty much your typical overachiever. She sort of is the kind of person that just kind of excelled in everything in her life, and the Army was no exception. She moved up the ranks very quickly, became a lieutenant at I'd say a considerably young age, and as a woman that's a big deal. And you know, top female interrogator, so when she encounters the character she's going to encounter, she's, you know, a soldier. And I think it's a really interesting take because she's a strong and smart and kind of sassy woman, and I'm really excited to kind of put my own spin on her and see where her story goes later on. I am super excited. I am enthralled. It's like I've actually had butterflies in my stomach since I accepted the role, because I've been reading the script and the character treatment and trying to really understand my role in this. It was one of those things where as soon as I read the part and I read the character description and I read the script, I needed to play the part. I felt like I needed to be a part of it immediately, and I would have been really, really upset, probably breaking some kneecaps that some other girl got the part of Callie. So I'm super excited to be a part of this project. It's kind of a dream come true in a way, and at the same time it's kind of the dream I never knew I had until it came along, so whatever that means. I don't know what that means. They're strong female characters. These aren't your typical damsels in distress in these kind of situations. You know, they're not your standard female characters in movies that it's, you know, oh, come save me. They're saving themselves and probably saving the guys in some situations. These are no slouches. They're smart women. They're strong women, but they're still women. You know, their sense of femininity, I don't believe, is lost in all that strength, and I think that's really, really cool. And I think it's going to give female viewers, young, old, whatever, and even guys, like this sense of, you know, kind of girl power. So I'm really, that's cool for me. I am actually pretty elated to be working with my local South Floridian actors down here, Sky and Cliff and Chris Groom and Clay and Caitlin, just to name a couple. Not just because they are, you know, South Floridian actors, but because they're also friends. These are people who I've been to their houses, they've been to my house. In one situation, I looked after one of their pets while they were out of town. They've seen me without makeup. So that element of trust and camaraderie is already there. So I think that's going to be really, really important to the story and the way the characters interact with each other. And then there's actors like Penn Clement who we don't like know each other personally, but I've always kind of admired him as an actor down here in the professional market, so I'm really excited to be able to share this project with him, and something that's got his name attached to it. It's kind of humbling for me because he's kind of a, I don't want to say celebrity down here in these parts, but he's well known and well respected down here. So that's cool. I feel like, you know, might be a little starstruck or something. It's great that all this homegrown talent is finally getting used and some exposure, and it's going to be so fantastic for them. And shooting in South Florida, I think, is going to be even better, because there's so much scenery down here besides the palm trees and the beaches, which everybody sees. And I think other companies are already starting to take advantage of that. You know, other shows are filmed down here already. Dexter is, I think Burn Notice. A movie is being filmed here, Rock of Ages, with Tom Cruise, so he's been down here a while admiring our beautiful scenery. But we also have more than that. There's, you know, the Everglades. There's all this rugged terrain. There's this suburban area as well. These great houses, and there's farmland here in Florida that people don't know exists. So there's all this beautiful scenery that you can get right here, homegrown. You don't have to go to LA. You don't have to go to New York. You don't have to go to Canada, where a lot of film companies are going now. You can stay right here and enjoy the homegrown talent and the beautiful scenery, and it's probably more cost efficient, that's for sure. I grew up watching Sequest DSV and Star Trek The Next Generation, and then of course Buffy the Vampire Slayer came along, and then I was hooked. And something about that particular show within that genre was just exciting to me, and I think part of it is because it was more action oriented, and that's kind of like what appeals to me as a viewer, as I really like the action oriented sci-fi fantasy series. But I think what really, really appeals to me about the more recent sci-fi is because while there's all this great fantastical stuff happening, you know, vampires were coming in on Buffy and, you know, Star Wars, and these aliens and these intergalactical wars happening, there was still a very human element to it. You know, the humanity of the characters never got lost, and you care more about the characters, and you become invested in the characters, but the special effects and the CGI and all the cool stunts kind of just added to that experience. And I think that's what, for me, is what's more exciting about the sci-fi genre, is it's become less about the Star Trek, Star Wars, spaceship, all that stuff, and more about the characters and the stories and how their stories intermingle in with this fantastical stuff that's happening to them. That's it.